Well, if you saw my video on the planting of the orchard, that would be, I think, all 7 of you. You saw this project that went awry here with the grapevine trellis. Watched several videos on YouTube, and many of them said you didn't need to concrete the base of these, and you can obviously tell that that is not true. When I started pulling the wire tight, the posts started coming towards each other, and so now I've got concrete and the backhoe and I'm going to do these right. So first thing I got to do is I'm going to try to keep them, because I measured them exactly where I wanted to. I'm going to try to keep that wire. My plan is to do one, probably this one here, and concrete it, let it cure for a couple of days. Excuse me. Then that would give me a chance to do the other one, and that way it can try to cure. I haven't really decided exactly how to do that, because this wire isn't banjo tight yet. It needs to be. So probably what I have to do is let it cure with the backhoe, more or less chained to this post, to get it to be plumb. So anyway, that's going to be the project for today, is get at least, like I said, one of these done, and then I'll have to come back and do the other one. But anyway, that's going to be the start. While I've got the backhoe out, I'm also going to start on the chicken coop. So I'll show you what's going on with that. All right, so I made it over here to the chicken coop, and it's mostly looks like a graveyard, because it is a dead idea, although I'm going to be breathing new life into this project. And the first thing I got to do, unfortunately, is to trench it. This thing turns into a swimming pool for badger, muddy mess. We raised a lot of tadpoles over here, and it's just been an eyesore since I started this project. So I got to fix the water problem. I'll show you kind of what that entails here. So our property slopes this direction, so it comes in, the water comes in from this direction, and everything gets really wet. And at the very beginning of the spring, it ends up being just a bog, for lack of better terms. What it is with the way the land slopes this direction, water sheds into this. And then when I dug it out to build the coop, and we got it level and put some metal mesh fabric around the perimeter for protection, we didn't do ourselves any favors, because we actually made it lower than it already was, and it stays wet for probably I'd say the first month of spring. With all the rains, this whole area is just saturated. So I'm going to try to salvage as much of this project as possible. I don't know how this is going to turn out, and I don't have a straight idea of exactly what I'm doing here. So this will be the first video of things to come. The coop is approximately 15 foot long. This area, this run is 6 foot wide and 15 foot long. And I was going to build a 6 foot by 6 foot coop. You can kind of see where the boards are still from that. I never did get further along than this. They're falling over. I got to get cleaned up from that. This was pressure treated wood, so I'm hoping that it's still okay to use. But there's that mesh. You can kind of see where the ground starts sloping up, and that's where we dug it down for the mesh, and we're going to put dirt on top of it. And so my plans now are to trench along this area here that you can see, and then I'll take all the dirt and throw it this direction. So it'll mound this up such that this will shed this direction, and that will carry the water hopefully away from this area. The other idea I have is I'm going to take my boom as far as I can reach. I'm going to dig a hole as deep as far as I can get in here, and just make a big hole, and I'm going to fill that in with dirt to give it just a sink for water. So I'm trying to get out of having to raise this entire area up, which is probably what needs to happen, but I'd have to raise it up substantially, probably 2 foot higher than what it is right now, and there's so many hours that went into this portion of the build. Even though it doesn't look like it looks awful, but everything's level, the mesh is in the ground covered up, and it's exactly the dimensions I was needing. I'd have to tear all this apart and basically start new. I'd have to get dirt in, yada yada yada. It'd be much bigger project than really what I want to do. It's just a chicken coop by all accounts. So no need of trying to create some kind of monstrosity out of here. And I think that'll work, because I'll have I'll have basically a hill up here that will shed this direction, and the same will be on the other side. And then the drainage tile will basically run water away from this area, and then whatever water gets into the run will hopefully go into that sink. So I don't know. Like I said, this is it's been a frustrating project just because of the trials and tribulations of water and weather and this and that and every other excuse I can think of. But it's got to get done, because it's just sitting here, and it's just a reminder of a failed project that I've got to get back in the swing of things. So while I got the backhoe out, like I said, I'm going to put that post in concrete, and then I'm going to head this direction and start the trenching. I figure I'll be trenching for probably take me 3 days to finish the trenching. So this will be step 1 of building the coop. So I'm trying out some new things here. I figured I would basically go all in on my 7 subscribers that I have, hoping that this is worth it. I bought me a microphone. You can see this right here, because I found that my sound quality was pretty poor. So got this microphone. I got me a little stick now. I can hold my phone and not have to keep it at arm's reach. You get a little bit. I think you can get a little bit better quality of video from this. So to all 7 of you, this is for you. Hope you enjoy it. So let me know, and hopefully by the time I'm finished with this, maybe there'll be 8. We'll just have to see. I just love having a Bertha. What a beautiful sight. Well, this has been a very long and hot, sweaty day here on the trenching channel, where I am trying to finish up this trench for the chicken coop. So I figured I'd give you an update and see where we are at on this. So last time you saw this, it was full of water. Now it's full of pipe and rock. That is a special type of fabric. It is geotextile drainage fabric. This is what is actually supposed to be used for a trench. So I had some left over from the other mega trenching job, and if you haven't seen that video, shame on you. However, I didn't have enough, so I had to order some more. But we ended up having just enough to finish this, just enough with what I bought and what I had. This sitting out here, this is going to be the future downspout for the chicken coop. So I put a T in here and just shot that out so that I could fill it full of rock, not fill the pipe full of rock. And then if you'll look, the entire circumference of this chicken coop here is got perforated pipe, and then I ran out, of course, right about here. So I took the piece of non-corrugated pipe and just kind of stabbed it with a knife a couple hundred times and made perforated pipe on it, and then connected it from here to this leg, and then from there I put a Y, connected the two ends, and then shot it out from there with solid pipe so that it's not perforated anymore. And that seems to work real well. It did on the other trench. And then back here behind, this all had to be hand shoveled. So this was my least favorite part of the filling in with rock. Now what we got to do is take and burrito up this rock pipe burrito and then fill it in with dirt. This is another portion that's not real fun. Fill it in with rock because I'm using Bertha. That's pretty okay. It's not fun, but it's better than using a shovel. Getting in there and getting this thing burritoed in place, well, that's not fun. But it's easier actually to walk in after you get the rock in. I kind of jacked my knee up during the course of this in the laying of the fabric and everything. Just put a twist on my knee, but I'll live. So get in here, get this burritoed up, that way I can get Bertha out and push and fill in this trench and get one step closer to being done with this trench. I'm planning on retiring my trenching hat, so hopefully this will be the last trench that I have to dig, but just saying that means I'll have to dig another one. Anyway, this is where we're at, and then I'll show you when we're done. Well, I certainly hope this is the last trench I ever do. So I finished the trench and now I can move on to building the coop. I'll show you what I did here. So this is the trench, and this is basically done. I need for it to rain so that this will, I'm sure some of this will settle, and then I'll have to put some more dirt in here. I've also got to let this settle here. This is where it's going to have the pop-up for water to come out, and I've got to let that completely settle. That's got to be a 1/4 inch below surface grade, just so you don't tear it up with a lawnmower and what have you. But I can't really do anything, like I said, until it rains. And then this is pretty rough looking because of all the big giant clumps of clay dirt. So but it's really soft. In fact, I just stepped, you can see my steps in there. So this is, like I said, this has to come in and get a good rain, and then it'll settle, and then I'll have to add more dirt and what have you. But I'll have plenty of opportunity for that because it likes to rain here a pretty good bit. So this is where I have taken and made for the downspout for the coop, and that's why that big giant pipe is just kind of sitting in the ground. I've got it connected through a T underground, and that way any overflow, I'm going to be collecting the water off the roof for the chickens, but you can only collect so much. So after the barrel gets full, it'll just self-divert back through this system and then come out where that giant pipe is. So I'm going to call this done, just because if I have to wait on it to rain and then grade it, it'll be quite a while. But I ended up with plenty of dirt. You can kind of see my pile over there by the garden. It looks small on the camera, but it's I'm guessing it's probably about maybe anywhere 6 to 10 bucket loads of dirt. So I have plenty of dirt to finish grading this out, and to grade out any other areas that need more dirt work. I'm
I'm ready to move on with this Coop project. So this is the end, hopefully, of the trenching channel. If you like our videos, please subscribe and join us. We're always going to be doing something here, right or wrong. So and as you watch the coop being built, you'll see where this this gets tied into it, and you'll see where that disappears, and a little pop-up will be in its place. And hopefully by the end of the coop build, there'll be grass growing here, and that would be pretty exciting. The grade that I have, if you can see it, it slopes away, and that's by design, because the two sinks that I put in here of rock, I want as little water as possible getting into this area. And Badger's a little upset with me because he lost his swimming pool, but he'll get over it. Anyway, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you on the next journey.